One more real quick. Was never expected to grow. Just hustle from staying the road. Better return me down my phone. The story I'm telling is wrong. Forget it, what everyone knows. The women that tell was known. America was never our home. Only a place of activity saves the sanity, hate to stay with me. The kind of numbers you be telling me, maybe this time we return my energy. The truth of my tears is countless. The fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. You tangle my feet in the air to be ready to crack. Crack in the sky. You see a message of making it official. I'm capturing every crime of the vibe. Put them all in chains, but they need to be slavery for me. And let the whole world see they put them in the cage, they go in the streets. Put the dog on a leash. Get resolved for the beach. One 44 to the brutal show, we never be at peace. As long as the trumpets are down, again, we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time of your judgment is now. He just how it feels, everything is. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the world. Watch your body first. Trust the lies. The niggas got when I go be different. I get it just tonight. And singing shots all like prayer wheel. Pray get back home, back around like a carousel. See, remember your Hollywood. Ringing in my head like hell. Set you in this body, you feel the Lord off the goddamn triangle. So we're not pressing the game. They find me with the same exhibition is driven. See a bomb change and see certain colors. I just hope they make it hostile. Block breaks out the bus, I swear I ain't no confidence. Make myself a dog in the world of man. Shooters keep them down, but I go out making the place. Good and damn, my kids spraying up and overdone. They want my jealous, I want brain over. See just how it feels. Everything is a ghost.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is it right here. All right, Salaki. For the late start, Shalom Yabashim Yashai Brakathum to all the brothers. Shalom Yahweh Shemar Thumb Bashim Yashai to all the sisters out there. Let's clap it up. Right. We're gonna start it off. If there's any questions in the building, obviously, if any questions in the online, let's go ahead and get them now. If not, we'll get into things straight away. It's 8 o'clock. I was on go to like 8:30, but we'll probably just go straight to 9 o'clock, at least an hour, and knock this class out. No, I get long-winded, but tonight's topic right now is unless you had a question. Okay. Tonight's topic, we're gonna get straight into it, is what we would best know as being called being a product of your environment. Right? These are two things that I heard recently I had come encounter recently in the past week or so. So first thing that kind of sparked this topic of this class is I saw a local rapper, Mr. Fab, online, and he made a post, and he does his little motivational speaking and all that. Shout out to the brother. He's a good brother who got good intentions, but he's not in the truth. So of course he's gonna say things that are not of the Lord and are just not true. And he may believe them to be true, but you come and find out this Bible, and the more you study, even the unlearned in Esau's environment, even being unlearned in his knowledge, will lead you to this conclusion that the brother came with. And he has a point to a certain extent, but he's missing a big portion. And this is where a lot of people in our community have come to the same conclusion as him. And it's oftentimes the people that are successful come to this conclusion as well. So the statement that the brother made was, you've been told your whole life you are a product of your environment, and this is the reason why you're the way you are, and we use that as an excuse to be the way we are, and we don't have any accountability. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch everything that he was saying, but I could get the gist of where he's going with it, that if you don't take account for your actions, then that's the reason why the Oakland is the way it is. That's why the ghetto's there. That's why you go to prison. That's why you out here bipping cars. This is why you're doing this and do that. And the third is because you're just not changing yourself, right? Now, the reason why I am countering that with, yes, you are the product of your environment, and that does have an effect on your behavior. And if you don't understand your environment, how can you learn how to be accountable? See, that's the pieces that we always miss. And that's what Barakatah Yahweh Shah for Commander Jenny Yohana, breaking this Bible down, holding on to these records and teaching them to us. Because the first thing that you need to do before you hold yourself accountable is hold the goddamn white man, who's the devil the Bible speaks of, accountable for destroying and raping and robbing and murdering your people.
That's right.
Is he going to be held accountable? Let's ask Mr. Fad. When is he going to take account? When are they going to take accountability for destroying us systematically for hundreds and hundreds of years? Until he takes some accountability, why you got to blame Jerome in the hood for not being accountable for his actions, man? When you got the wisest, most intelligent, studied people on planet Earth, been to Harvard, Yale, Princeton, every other Ivy League college on planet Earth, millions and billions of dollars in resources at their fingertips. They got all the political clout and capabilities to change our communities and don't do a goddamn thing about it. You understand? But we want to push this brother down. And like I said, we get to that point. The UPK, we're not about not holding Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans accountable, but we're going to hold someone accountable first, and then we get to that. You'll never get us on the right track. So let me get Psalm 78, 72. We'll start off with a precept, and then let's go into this book. I want to read a little bit. Let's see what we got right here. Psalm 78, 2. Yeah, sure.
The book of Psalm 78, verse 2. I will open my mouth in a parable.
Mm-hmm.
I will utter dark sayings of old.
Right. And so even this one, I actually called out the wrong one, but this is still important, right? I was listening to the song with Captain Akkad talking about the dark sayings. This is the reason why a lot of people don't understand the Bible, because it's dark sayings. It's something that you need to be taught. It's something that needs to be broken down to you by the priests and prophets of the Lord, who this has been revealed to. Because you can pick up this book in the same way that he came to that conclusion, what's going on with the black community, somebody else will pick up this book and come to the same conclusion and use it to further destroy us. Well, all you got to do, brother, is get you a job. Sister, he's not equally yoked. The brother don't want to work. He don't want to eat. And you need to leave him alone and go ahead and get with Deacon so-and-so or get with me and blah, 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 blah. But go to verse Salakia. Let's go to verse 70. Yeah. Let's go to verse 70 now. I wanted to go to 72, but I called out verse 2, but we're going to start at verse 70. All right. Mm-hmm.
Psalm 78, like verse 70. He chose David,
right,
also his servant,
mm-hmm,
and took him from the sheepfold,
right,
71,
mm-hmm,
from following the ewes great with young, and he brought him to feed Jacob his people.
Who?
Jacob his people,
right,
and Israel his inheritance.
Right. So David, we know he was a boy shepherd. He was out in the fields, following the ewes, following the sheep, and dealing with them. He's a sheep herder. This is our legacy. You know, this is why the Egyptians didn't want to sit and eat with us, because we were always dealing with these sheep, right? And the Lord put us in this environment to be around these type of animals, to have a deeper understanding when it comes to his people, right? And that's why he's saying he pulled him from the sheep flocks to come and feed Jacob his people and Israel his inheritance. Verse 72.
So he fed them according to the integrity of his heart.
What did he feed them with?
Integrity of his heart.
One more time.
Integrity of his heart.
The integrity of his heart. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, we are always likened to sheep, because sheep will follow whoever is leading them and do what the leader says to do. Sheep are not known to fight back. You go and try and get a wolf to do what you want it to do in the middle of the wild. The wolf is going to bite your damn finger off. You know what I mean? Like, you think about horses, they talk about breaking horses, and that can go into the Willie Lynch. We can go into that topic. But a real live horse was never meant to be rode at all. They are bucking the stallion. He's not letting anybody get on him. That's his nature. But they didn't break sheep to be like this. Sheep have always been like this historically, that they are not aggressive in that manner. They will follow whoever has got them in order in that way. So the way that we are is the same way. Our community, no matter how much they try to break us apart and fight each other, we naturally follow. When somebody come out and say, this is the Jordans and we all rocking them, everybody in the ghetto gotta have them. Everybody in the hood gotta get the Yeezys, gotta get this, gotta get that. We naturally go along with whatever is popping. And that's our flavor, man. And that it's contagious. Other nations follow us. But if you feed us the opposite of what David was feeding, the opposite of integrity is immorality, it's hatred, it's competition, it's the crab in the barrel. Like, these are the things that they feed us, and this is how we become. So keep going. Mm-hmm.
And guided them by the skillfulness of his hand.
Right. And matter of fact, let's go to the next verse, 79. Right.
Chapter 79,
mm-hmm,
verse 1. O power, O God,
mm-hmm,
the heathen are coming to thine inheritance. Thy holy temple have they defiled.
right.
They have laid Jerusalem on heath.
Right. So the heathen have come in to our community. They defiled our temple. They defiled this holy book and tried to make it something else by teaching you that Yahweh Shai Mashiach was an Edomite or a heathen, a white man. They defiled this book in our temple by doing things that are profane and introducing them into our community and our society. And it's like from all the way back then to where bringing pork around us was profane. Now it's nothing to do that in the Christian church. No one even thinks twice to have ribs on Sunday, to have pork at the church house, none of that. And then the Christians will be like, okay, they're letting in the rainbow community. That's a problem. But now you get to 2024, that's not a problem either. They can completely profane our book and our culture by accepting the ways of the heathen, all right? But now we're going to jump back into it. I'm going to explain it from, I get educated a little bit, man, but, brothers, bear with me. I'm going to try to explain it in the best way. But I just want to show that Esau has the information to destroy and fix us. And that's the only reason why I bring out these books, man. Because when I was going to school and learning this information, I'm like, God damn, they telling you the problem and they clearly know the solution, but our community is still the same every 4 years. Every time we come to this election, we ask Kamala, we ask this. This is why we know the priests and prophets are the most intelligent men on planet Earth. These brothers in the school, man, get yourselves a hand, man, because we see through the BS that they're telling you to wait 4 years. It's like, in your family right now, you're talking to somebody, your family, your cousins, your friends, they really want Kamala Harris to win. They really think she's better than Donald Trump for whatever reason because she's in the Democratic Party. And I don't know what they think their life is going to improve or the ghetto's going to improve. But to me, it's like, are you dumb? Is something wrong with you? That's when Captain Marvel called dumb, like dummy. Like, what else can you call someone like that? But the truth is, these people are sheep, man. And they use that word. You've heard the word sheeple before? How do people use when they use that when they say somebody is just sheeple? What does it mean? What's the definition of the word and how are they using it? Salaki.
If you look at the word sheep, right?
Right.
It's normally used as a way to denigrate people.
Right.
As far as I say, sheep are stupid,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so they'll call people sheeple.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll just follow anything,
right?
And so it's kind of like a derogatory term.
Mm-hmm.
My understanding, for someone who wants you to see things their way,
right, or any way other than the mainstream way, or a lot of times they use it for me for religion. It seems like if you talk about the Bible or any religion, they're like, these people are sheeple, they're being led, they're stupid, they don't think for themselves, they don't want to be an individual and separate, they go with the crowd. Well, guess what, dumb? That's how people are operating. That's in our nature to do that. That's how we are made to be. Because if you walk around and your baby doesn't follow you and you in the woods, the baby's gonna get lost. If the baby doesn't copy you, how you put on your clothes or how you cook this food, and they just go and do whatever they want to do, the baby is gonna die. The baby has to copy and mimic what they see in order to survive. That's what literally makes you a human being. All right. But this is called socialization, or like you socialize somebody. So another word for product of your environment is socialization, or the whole field of sociology is you can get a degree on this because they study it so much that this is how you control people's behavior. This is how you get what you want out of them. But okay, this is what I'm gonna read real quick. We're going to get another precept and we'll come back to the book a little bit. We'll go back and forth. The part of it says, and this is a book, it's called Sociology Introduction, basically first course 101. Much of our the topic says society within us, the self and emotions as social control. Much of our socialization is intended to turn us into conforming members of society. You're going to act like everyone else. That's what they're teaching you how to be. Socialization into the self and emotions is essential to this process, for both the self and our emotions mold our behavior. Although we like to think that we are quote unquote free, consider for a moment just some of the factors that influence how you act. The expectations of friends and parents, of neighbors and teachers, classroom norms and college rules, city, state, and federal laws, For example, if in a moment of intense frustration or out of a devilish desire to shock people, you wanted to tear off your clothes and run naked down the street, what would stop you? The answer is your socialization, society within you. Your experiences in society have resulted in a self that thinks along certain lines and feels particular emotions. This helps to keep you in line. Now, all of that is a lot of words, but breaking that down in the simple, like what stands out to me in this, it says, I like that they use that crazy example. If you just wanted to get up and go naked and run down the street, you're like, no, I'm not about to do that. But what stopped you? Society within you controls you, because it said the things that influence your behavior, the expectation of your friends, your parents, your neighbors, your teachers, the classroom, the college rules, the city, state, and federal laws. That controls your behavior. So now if your friends are gangbanging and your father was a gang member and your father sells dope and your sister is a whore, and you see what I'm saying? You go to school, the teacher ain't teaching you. They there for a check. They literally, the job title says teacher. Well, what are they teaching you? You got to learn something to be a student of a teacher. If they don't teach you nothing, they're not a teacher. It's just a title. You feel me? So all these things and the laws, you don't go into laws. We know the laws are made to destroy us. This is why we don't give a damn about the laws. Why would I not sell dope when I know the CIA brought dope in here? Why would I not be a killer when the police are killers? The dude arrested me for killing is a murderer. Kill a woman in her kitchen for nothing. At least I killed this nigga because he owed me the $500. I killed this nigga because he killed my cousin. They murdered his sister for boiling hot water, and she didn't do nothing to anybody. Why would I not be a pimp and the judge is going to arrest me and send me to jail when he bought my hoe last month? You're the same white man I sold her to, and he's going to sit here and give me 50 goddamn. The hell with that. These laws don't matter. I'm going to try to do what I can do until I get caught, because this is how you built America, was doing crime. I'm going to follow that same route, and that's how I'm going to be successful. So this is the society that's telling you what to do. It's not stopping you from selling drugs, because every goddamn song you hear tells you to sell drugs. It's not stopping you from joining gangs, because every movie and song you listen to and your neighborhood and your family and your friends is all socializing you to do this behavior. Huh? You are a sheep. You're bred to do this. Give me the precept. Give me Jeremiah chapter 23 and verse 1. Baba Kasha. And this is what the priests and prophets knew. This is what the Lord knows. This is why he likened us to this. He never used it as a bad way. Isn't that ironic? Isn't that ironic that in 2024, in the past 50 years, 30 years, being compared to a sheep is wrong? You never question that? This society makes you bad to feel like you're a sheep, when the whole Bible is saying that's the glory. That's the glorious thing about the children of Israel, is that we are like sheep. Go ahead, please, please.
The first time I ever heard the term was years ago before I even came into the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So I was there at that point, never even make the connection.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So yeah, automatically seemed like a negative term to me being in the world.
Right.
So yeah, I be right what you're saying. It gets that negative connotation to get you, especially in the political arena.
Right.
They'll call you sheeple because you're following the other way.
Right. Right.
Because you follow our way,
Mm-hmm.
you're not a sheep anymore.
Exactly.
So you're a free thinker. You think for yourself.
Exactly. But you still are following in that essence. That's what's so crazy about that. And you know, it's heavy what you said about that. Get our brother hand too as well, Sluggy. But you know, when I was in high school, we had the different groups, right? You got the jocks, you got the hood cats, the basketball players, and you had the gothic kids. They were supposed to be different from everybody. The weird white kids, they wear the makeup and they got the black boots on. And I asked one of them one time or something, they told me about these are special kind of boots. It was probably Doc Martens back then. I didn't know nothing about it. But I was like, how much are those boots? They're like, they're $150. You know, this is back in the day. So I'm like, God damn, we barely wanted to spend $100 on Jordans. I'm like, they're $160. And it hit me. I'm like, you're a follower like everybody else. You're trying to be different from black people, and because we all wear Jordans, and you want to be the separate group, but y'all spend just as much money on being different, which really makes you the same. Y'all just in a different way of being different. Like you're saying, like, you ain't gonna follow this group, but you're gonna follow this group, and now you're an individual thinker, but you're just being a sheep over there, because that's all human beings can be. It's not just black people, but we're the most sheep-like. And if you put someone in charge that controls the herd, you can control the flock. It's that simple. And that's why Christ went against the leadership. That's why we talk about the Christian church so much. That's why we talk about the government so much, because we know the white man being the devil is the reason why you are more than anything that you have done individually. You know what I mean? But what we got, Salaki? Let's go 23:1. Let's see what we got.
Look at Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 1.
Right?
Woe be unto the pastor
Right.
that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture,
Right.
saith the Lord.
Right. You see what's being said right here. Read it one more time, huh?
Book of Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 1.
Right?
Woe be unto the pastor.
Destruction is coming to the pastors. It's coming to the leaders. Why? What are they doing? They're the ones that are leading you to be the way you are. You are not the leader, so you're going to do whatever the leader tells you to do. It's a famous clip. I can pull it up right now. I won't do it for time's sake, but Big Meech, who was the leader of BMF, a big drug organization. They sold $1 billion worth of cocaine in the 80s to 2000s. Everyone glorifies him in the rap industry because he was known for just giving money to his team, to women in the strip club. He was sharing his money, and they just got a lot of money together. So that was his claim to fame. And one of the interviews he had, or he was just a little documentary, he was like, I'm a good leader. We know in the world, obviously, he's not. But the way he's explaining to them in a worldly way is like, I share with my people. I want to make sure they have this. If your kids going to school, I'm going to pay for that. And we're going to do this and we're going to do that. I'm not a greedy nigga. I want everybody to eat. And I'm a hustling boss. If you had a robbing ass boss, you're going to be a robbing ass crew because you're going to be like him. If you got a boss that cares about everybody, make sure everybody eat, then that's how you're going to be. Big Meech wasn't known for being violent and going out and constantly enforcing things with violence, which was why he was able to grow. He was able to make deals with people and unite people to a certain extent. So that's how he grew. So he was like, this is the energy I'm bringing. These are how the people that follow me are going to be. And he was like, never be another group like us again. As a matter of fact, I just saw Captain Ariel make a post that Captain Akkad said, I understand how Big Meech feel, not in the drug sense, but of being in the UPK. Like, yeah, there'll never be another organization like One West. You understand? Like, this is really the mission that he was trying to do in the righteous way. That was on the left-hand side. This is on the right-hand side. You're going to be like your leader, and you see it with fake Israelites all the time. Their leader was disloyal. Now all of their followers are disloyal. They can never stay together, and they always break off into fake Israelite groups because your leader was disloyal and broke off from a fake Israelite group. How can he teach you loyalty? It's impossible. That's why this group, we had that spirit of brotherhood, because our leader has the spirit of brotherhood. He was loyal, and we are loyal. Their leaders are disloyal, their members are disloyal, and they keep continuing. As you tell a brother, man, you should never leave me. You should never go nowhere. Didn't you leave them niggas about 6 months ago? Yeah, that was different. But when they was in that group, they was telling him, like, yeah, you should never leave me. Well, didn't you leave them other niggas about 2 years ago? Well, that was you see, it just keeps going on and on and on. But Salaki, read that one more time. I know I get long-winded. I'm gonna Salaki.
Book of Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 1.
Right.
Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep
Right.
of my pasture, saith Yahweh.
Right. Keep going.
Verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore saith Yahweh, the Most High of Israel, against the pastors that feed my people.
Right.
Ye have scattered my flock,
Right.
and driven them away, and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you
Right.
the evil of your doing,
Right.
saith Yahweh.
Right. He gave you the keys to leading Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and you took those keys and benefited yourself and fed yourself. $850 billion going to the Black church and nothing coming to the Black community. You get a plane, you get a car, you get a house, we get nothing. We get drugs, we get prostitution, we get death, we get gangs. You understand? That's what they were doing. That's why he said he's going to revisit all the evil of their doings. Keep verse 3. Keep going.
And I will gather the remnant of my flock out of the countries whither I have driven them.
Right.
And will bring them again to their fold.
Right.
And they shall be fruitful and increase.
Right. Keep going.
Verse 4. And I will set up shepherds over them which shall feed them.
Right.
And they shall fear no more.
Right.
Nor be dismayed.
Keep going.
Neither shall they be lacking, saith Yahweh.
Right. And so this is the changing. This is how you fix us. You a product of your environment. You goddamn right you're a product of your environment. What else can you be? There's no other way. And unless you change the leadership, you cannot change the people. You have to change the leaders, and that will trickle on down. And once you do that, then you'll see who we really are. And keep going.
Verse 5. Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, and I will raise unto David a righteous branch.
Right.
And the king shall reign and prosper,
Mm-hmm.
and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth.
Right. And that's what we need. And that's Yahweh Shai Mashiach. And these lessons and teachings that he brought down showed us how we can lead our people in a righteous manner. And that is what's going to fix us. So I'm going to go back to this book a little bit right here, right? All right. And so it said, I'm going to go back to the last letter. It said, so let's say you wanted to tear off your clothes and run naked down the street. What would stop you? The answer is your socialization, society within you. And this is another thing when I was talking to the sister, right? She want to be combative and not, get in order. I'm like, the things you believe, you're saying, okay, if a man can have more than one woman, a woman should be able to have more than one man. Who taught you that? That's not even how you really feel as a woman. Your natural nature doesn't feel like that. Society within you is who's talking to me right now. You see what I'm saying? Because if she was born as a baby and until she grew up in a society where she saw men with multiple women, she wouldn't even think there was another way. And she would go along with it and this is what it is. And she wouldn't even have these thoughts to that level. Of course, naturally they might be jealous of certain, whatever, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that, but I'm saying the way that they get this thought that women should be equal, they learn this from this place and they'll fight you. So you're not really even talking to her. You're talking to the white man. You're talking to the society that she grew up in, right? So your experiences in society have resulted in a self that thinks along certain lines and feels particular emotions. This helps to keep you in line. Thoughts such as, would I get kicked out of school? And what will my friends or parents think if they found out? Represent an awareness of the self in relationship to others. So does the desire to avoid feelings of shame and embarrassment. Your social mirror, then, the result of you being socialized into a self and emotions, sets up effective controls over your behavior. In fact, socialization into self and emotions is so effective that some people feel embarrassed just thinking about running around naked in public. Like, so now think about the law, statutes, and commandments in a society of Israelite culture and how we're supposed to be. Just thinking about sleeping with another man's wife don't feel good. You see what I'm saying? You'll be embarrassed, like, damn, what am I doing? Christ said, if you had a thought, you have already, you know what I mean, committed adultery. So that's what they telling you. That's what I'm saying. The Bible is the truth. You don't want to hear it from some niggas on the street telling you this. These white folks know what we saying is true. You think we dumb and crazy because of how we saying it, but this is the most intelligent book that was ever written. This came first, not this. They read this and figured this out. And then they went and made $1 billion worth of industries and built the richest nation on planet Earth. But when we come and tell you, you think that we speak in hate and we don't know what we're talking about. But that's because they socialize you to go against whatever the hell we tell you. It's crazy, man. But let's see. In sum, socialization is essential for our development as human beings. From interaction with others, we learn how to think, reason, and feel. You got to learn this from being around other people. The net result is the shaping of our behavior, including our thinking and emotions, according to cultural standards. This is what sociologists mean when they refer to society within us. Israelite indeed. You have Israel in you so much. The law, statutes, and commandments, the culture, that's who you are. But if you block us from this book and block us from our culture, you become whoever they want you to be. And that's the results you get. So I'm going to skip past that. It goes into gender a little bit. That's a whole nother topic. We ain't going to go into that. Peer group. It was one more thing. Let's go back to the Bible, though. Talks about the family. That's important. Neighborhood, religion, workplace. It was one thing I wanted to bring last part, man, where it talks about Pharaoh child. Let's see if that comes up. If not, we go back. So, you got any comments on what I'm looking for this too?
No, sir.
Well, yeah.
You know, all of these sociology books and psychology books, everything in the world when it comes to academics, political issues and stuff like that.
Right.
All of these things are geared against Israel, right? Because they may be damaging some of their people, but the people that they damage who are theirs, they're just like a casualty of war.
Right.
Like the main focus is getting so-called Black, Latino, First Nation men, women, and children to be socialized, just like we're talking about in these books, to be homosexual, right? To be gangbangers, right? You know, to be, you know, one to be with another man's wife, so on and so forth. Right. All of it is geared toward us, man. It's like that is these books, right? Like nuclear weapons against the minds of Israelites. Man. Right.
No, that's heavy, man. This is how they arm themselves to destroy us. I'm reading, like I said, when I'm reading, I'm like, damn, y'all know so much about our problems. Literally in every chapter, you damn near it says Black people and Hispanic people are suffering the most because of this problem. And they go through every problem in every chapter and say that we're at the bottom of it. And then they explain how it happens. But then at the end, they're like, we don't know what to do about it. I'm like, yeah, you just literally just showed you how to fix it. Right. Go ahead.
It's like they know that fact, and they're actually proud of that fact because that's basically saying mission. What they're really saying is mission accomplished.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, you know, this is where my mind is always thinking because you know Christ is coming back and that 144,000 are sealed.
Right.
They think they're delaying, you know, the 144,000 being sealed with all this mumble jumble, calling us sheeple, so on and so forth.
Right.
And you know, because we send our kids to college, man, and they come back different people.
Right.
You know, so they're not raised up in this truth.
Right.
They say, you know, you grow up in a Christian church, whatever, with quote unquote Christian values, which today, you know, okay, they think they're decent, right? But even as a Christian, you send your child to school, and she has never been with a man before, and she comes back. She's been with 3 women.
Damn.
Wow.
My brother said, yeah, something heavy, man. And that's that environment, man. That's that environment. And that's why it's key when it said the laws of that society, they control your behavior too. Not only is your family going to look at you crazy if you're walking down the street naked, your friends gonna look at you crazy. You might get kicked out of school, and you might go to jail. You see what I'm saying? All of that is gonna correct your behavior. Is the same way it's supposed to work with us, man. I can eat this pork, but then my family gonna look at me crazy. My friends gonna look at me crazy. A priest might come in and chop my damn head off or something. You know what I mean? Like, you got a lot of different things to keep you in line and in order, and that's why they attack our laws so much, because they know this, between righteous leadership and laws, you can fix every problem in the Black community. But without that, you can completely destroy us. You know what I mean? So let's see. This part of the chapter was a little bit before what I read already, but I'm going back. It says society makes us human. What do you mean society makes us human? Is probably what you're asking. That sounds ridiculous. I was born a human. The meaning of this statement will become more apparent as we get into the chapter. Let's start by considering what is human about human nature. How much of a person's characteristics come from nature or heredity, and how much from nurture, the social environment, or contact with others? Experts are trying to answer the nature versus nurture question by studying identical twins who were separated at birth and reared in different environments. It talks about going to that a little bit. Then it talks about feral children. This is the last little thing I'm going to talk about. So the naked child was found in the forest, walking on all fours, eating grass and lapping water from the river. When he saw a small animal, he pounced on it. Growling, he ripped at it with his teeth, tearing chunks from the body. He chewed them ravenously. This is an apt description of reports that have come in over the centuries. Supposedly, these feral or wild children could not speak. They bit, scratched, growled, and walked on all fours. They drank by lapping water, ate grass, tore ravenously at raw meat, and showed insensitivity to pain and cold. Why am I even mentioning stories that sound so exaggerated? It is because of what happened in 1798. In that year, such a child was found in the forest of Aveyron, France. The wild boy, Aveyron, as he became known, would have been written off as another folk myth, except that French scientists took the child to a laboratory and studied him. So this is like that, what's the movie? The dude Tarzan, you know what I mean? They tried to give you an example that he grew up around the gorillas or whatever, and he became like them. And this happened to this boy. I guess apparently he was raised in the wild, and they took him and studied him. Like the feral children in earlier informal reports, this child too gave no indication of feeling cold. You talked what that means. That's why it's mind over matter in a lot of things too. Somebody can tell you it's cold, it's cold, it's cold, it's cold, it's cold. Well, I'm cold. He out there, he ain't got no shirt on. It's 20 degrees. Running around biting, chewing. He's like an animal. He ain't worried about that. He don't even know what cold means. The most startling, though, the boy would growl when he saw a small animal, pounce on it, and devour it uncooked. Even today, the scientists detail reports making fascinating reading. Ever since I read Itar's account of the boy, I've been fascinated by the seemingly fantastic possibility that animals could rear human children. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to go a little bit further. Go down. What can isolated children tell us about human nature? We can first conclude that humans have no natural language. For Isabel and others like her are unable to speak, but maybe Isabel was mentally impaired. Perhaps she simply was unstable to the progress. But I say it's another female that grew up in the wild like that. She couldn't speak or anything like that. So they're saying maybe she was born like this. But they took her in, and it says, in just a year, she could write a few words, do simple addition, and retell stories after hearing them. 7 months later, she had a vocabulary of almost 2,000 words. In just 2 years, Isabel reached the intellectual level that is normal for her age. She then went on to school, where she was bright, cheerful, energetic, and participated in school activities as normally as other children, right? So I guess it was another story of one of those type of kids That's the story I guess they open the chapter with. But long story short, it's saying that society makes you human. If you don't have a social environment, you're gonna be what? Right, but what is the opposite of if you're not human, then what you gonna be? Exactly. That's how these people were acting. You see what I mean? So then what is that? How does that translate to black people in our community? What do they call us? Exactly. Well, what society do we grow up in? Exactly. So why are we animals? Exactly. See what I mean? See how easy they didn't figure, they didn't give you the answer. They know what's wrong with Oakland. They know what's wrong with Compton. They know what's wrong with everywhere else. You know how I know this is true? And we'll go back to some precepts. I'm talking to a young brother, man, I'm working with, right, on the slavery. And the young brother had a good spirit on him, man. I'm like, man, he made me, I really want to fish him into the school, man. Or whether brother had a spirit, he like, man, you know, I don't want to listen to this type of rap music. It's, you know, destructive. And, you know, I want to listen to positive music or something that educates you. And that's why I like Kendrick Lamar and all that. And I'm like, you know what, brother? I understand what you're saying. I'm kind of on the other side. Like, I had my homeboy. I used to like that hippity hoppity rappity, you know, intelligent rap. And then I got to a point where my homeboy from LA, he was with gangs and stuff like that, pimps and stuff. He was like, man, I don't like that rapping ass music, man. I don't like them niggas trying to teach me something on a song, man. I rather listen to some gangster stuff or whatever, you know, stuff you can ride to, some ignorant stuff. And I'm like, man, when I first heard him, I'm like, he's tripping. But then I started to understand what he was saying. And I did go to that side, right? But the way we both concluded, because he was a very intelligent brother, it's like, for one, a lot of people that listen to that, they look down on brothers that don't, right? They look down on brothers from the streets that's more ignorant. And then you are not able to relate to them anymore. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, you think this dude that's making this rappity song is really intelligent. He's really just a smart, dumb nigga. He's really not intelligent. Nas is dumb. He's not intelligent. I don't know if y'all don't know who listen to Nas and think that he is so great. This book has knowledge and can teach you something. Nas ain't teaching you nothing in the goddamn song. He may be talking about something a little bit more intelligent than this boss man D-Lo. But what is he really? Is he teaching you? He's not teaching you a class or nothing, nigga. And then I knew I was on the right spirit when I heard General Muhammad say that in his class. He was like, I don't like no nigga trying to teach me something deep, because Commander Jihana is deep. Captain Zaryak is deep. General Muhammad is deep. General Hasdayan is deep. The stuff they teaching you, bring it out, oh, that is heavy. This stuff this cat saying in the song is not heavy. It's a bunch of garbage, and you think that it's better because you're comparing to this brother from the hood, which actually, to me, makes this more deep, because at least he's explaining the experience of what he's going through and is able to relate to the people that's living that experience. But long story short, his mindset as a young brother, what I try to redirect and show him, the music is destroying our people. I'm like, yeah, you got a point on. Yeah, we came up, the black community was already messed up before the music. Then we got the music, and it's the chicken before the egg. Yeah, now it's furthering destroy us, right? It's being used to destroy us. But the real problem with our community is the money economic system. The real problem with our community is our family system is destroyed. The real problem with the community is our education system is destroyed. The real problem with the community is the religious institutions and the government and the politicians and the governor and the mayor and the president and the senators and the congressmen is what's wrong with the black community. It's not Tupac. It's not Young Jeezy or whoever these cats listen to today. I'm saying, oh, but you know, Boss Man D-Lo. It's not their fault. It's not Lil Wayne's fault. With the reason why the black community is destroyed. Are you crazy? And you know how I know this is true? I went to a 21 Savage concert not too long ago. 21 Savage, you don't know who the hell that is, right? Well, 21 Savage, a young cat from Atlanta, he came out and told everybody they should stop the violence. And everybody on social media got mad at him because all of his songs are about killing people and gunplay and being violent. So they call him a hypocrite because his music is so violent. I didn't want to go to the concert. I went, you know what I'm saying, with, you know, whatever, right? The whole concert, I'm like, this is demonic. I did not feel comfortable, man. He is literally, they got blood on the camera in the back. You know, it's just like violent. Every song, damn near for an hour straight, is talking about killing niggas. And who was there at the concert? Exactly. All white kids, young white kids, young Asian kids, young East Indian kids. And guess what? None of them go home and do anything he's saying. So how is it the music is making people do this stuff if the majority of people that buy his music and listen to his music and go to his concerts don't do it? Because they have a mother and a father at home. They have a good economic environment where they say, I'm not going to sell drugs and gangbang to survive. I'm going to become an engineer. This is entertainment. The same way you go to a movie and watch about a drug dealer and you don't sell drugs, it's the same way they can go listen to 21 Savage and not go kill people. But we're going to think the reason why the ghetto is messed up is because 21 Savage. No, it's not. Because they don't have good parents. It's because they don't have a good school system and they're poor. And this is who they look up to and they mimic this behavior. But it's already in their community and the real fix is changing their society. So that's why I told him, he's like, damn, that's heavy. He started seeing the light coming on, like, okay, I have been blaming my people a little bit more. He's like, okay, I understand a little bit more. I'm not going to push them away and think that they're ignorant and dumb and something wrong with them. Is the same spirit that Mr. Fab was saying, like, you the problem. You the problem. Accountability. Change yourself. We going to change. Nah. These devils need to get off our back first before we can do anything. And if not, we're going to at least blame them and show our people before we start talking to our people about changing. That's the only way. We can't do one without the other. You can't just tell people to change and they're the reason why they're messed up and ignore the fact that they're oppressed at the same time. Slack it. Please go ahead. Yeah.
So I'm just asking a question because our kids, we hear the music, right?
Right.
You see that the majority of the other nations of people who are going to this concert.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's listening to the music.
Right.
Now these kids, like you say, can go home and have parents that have money,
Mm-hmm.
influence, so on and so forth, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what he's making a lot of his money off of.
Right.
So I'm thinking from a psychological level, social level, from these other kids, they know that this music is destroying God's people.
Right.
They're reveling in the fact that they can go listen to this music,
Mm-hmm.
not take part of the culture, but understand that this music is preparing a whole nother generation for their rule.
Damn. That's a heavy point. Yeah. I think that's exactly what it is. And I think that they because
they're the ones who are owning all the liquor stores,
right,
restaurants, the properties around the community.
Exactly.
You know,
that's why it's chess. Yeah, they playing chess with us. Basically, what he's saying is like they might not even like the music. Damn near at this point, I would question even if these white kids even really like the music. It might be they just know they have to play this piece to make him super rich. It's the same way with basketball and sports. It's the same thing. Do they really care about football? Or is it about them investing millions of dollars into LeBron James? So now he's the top of a black community, and this is the only way we think we can be successful. It literally, that's why I know for sure from a top-down perspective, they put these things in place to not have us compete. All of our kids want to go to the NBA, and none of them want to go and work and compete against Google. They're destroying their competition by misdirecting you. So their kids have to go and support 21 Savage so he can make millions of dollars. So the kid in the hood thinks I got to be like him in order to make it out of the hood. And then it just keeps the cycle going, man. So, yeah, I would almost question, do they even really care about this music at this point, man? Because the destruction comes from it more than anything. Yeah. But so like let's go to 2 Samuel chapter 5, verse 2. And then I think that's it for this book right here for now. Gonna get to I'm gonna say too educational on everybody. But it is just important for me because it's a lot of cats that may sound intelligent, but then you realize, okay, you're really not as intelligent as you sound. You sound smart to dumb niggas. So then they like, oh man, yeah, he knows this much and he done this so much. And I'm not being a hater on Mr. Fab, right? It's just like he's an example of a goodwill, good intentioned person. And that's what I get from a lot of that East Coast, like Nas. His goodwill and good intention is to I'm gonna be positive and help the black community. But then a lot of that stuff it leads us to more destruction because of the things that they're missing. And if you don't have this book, you're not able to figure out what's really going on. And then you're gonna be lost. And I see all the time the brother, even today I'm looking at his page, you know what I mean? He got women strippers basically twerking in thongs. His uncle, old man, underneath the glass, looking at the stripper, and they in the strip clubs. And next week, Mr. Fab gonna give out backpacks to children and give out turkeys and teach the kids how to read. And then the next night, he's gonna be at the strip club. And I'm like, that you going to that strip club is more detrimental to the black community. If you stop doing that, it'll fix them kids' families way quicker than giving them backpacks, Doc. We think that we gonna educate these little kids and treat his mama like a whore. You can't do both. The key to the community is the black family. That's the first place you get socialized. So I was telling the young brother I'm slaving with, you want to fix black people, then you need to fix your family first. If you don't do that, then the whole thing is you setting your house on sand. Go ahead.
Book of 2 Samuel, chapter 5, verse 2.
Right.
Also in time past, when Saul was king over us, thou was he that leaded out and brought us in. Let me start.
No sweat.
2 Samuel 5 and 2. Also in time past, when Saul was king over us, thou was he that led us out and brought us in Israel.
You keep going.
Okay. And the Lord said to thee, thou shalt feed my people Israel, and thou shalt be a captain over Israel.
Right. Once again, so there's always, the leader and the followers. Let's go to Ezekiel 34 and 23. Let's see what we got here. This is Ezekiel 34. The whole chapter is very heavy. 33 as well, but 34 and 23. Matter of fact, you can almost. This whole chapter talks about the shepherd and the flock. Let me see what 23 got. Yeah, matter of fact, go to verse 1. This is gonna be the same. It's the same theme, right? But read it one more time. Yeah, the sister said it's misleading. Mosiah in Christ. All right, shalom, Azara. All right, shalom, Yahweh Shah Barakatah to the young man out of San Jose as well. Solid brother out there. Good sister right here as well. Raised up by the priest and officer Uraga Bar, man. Excellent brother as well. Lord be with you tomorrow. I'm gonna have to give you a call after class. Captain Quan told me what's going down. Ezekiel 34, 1.
Book of Ezekiel, chapter 34, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy against the shepherds of Israel. Prophesy and say unto them, Thus says the Most High power unto the shepherds. Woe be unto the shepherds of Israel that do feed themselves. Should not the shepherds feed the flocks?
Right. It's so simple. And so the example, like the shepherds should feed the flock, right? This is your job.
Right.
Who's gonna come out and feed them? Like, could you imagine looking at a flock? Like that's why it's so glorious, man. When you just actually visualize what's being talked about here. And we got the last 10 minutes. Don't hold it too much, Chuck. It's almost 9. Just imagine a flock. You ever been to somebody's house or somebody you seen some dog in the backyard and you can see the bones of the dog sticking through? Like, how you feel when you see that? What is the first thing that you think you be like?
I'm not.
You hate dogs, Doc? Or is it, he said, give a damn about no dogs? Yeah, yeah.
On one hand,
Mm-hmm.
it's like these people are not taking care of this dog.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Then on the other hand,
Mm-hmm.
these people may not be able to even afford to have.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Well, okay.
It's like-
Okay. That's a good point. That's a righteous point. But let's say you seen a big, like, let's say you seen Jay-Z's house, and then you went to the back and you seen the dogs, and their stomach was to their bones. Let's say that. That'll do it that way. That'll make it more because you had a righteous spirit. But
I said that brother's a wicked individual.
right.
And not being able to get too much of the mind of the individual.
Mhm.
What is his mindset to have a dog like,
Mhm.
have a dog, have this dog, and the dog looks like that?
Right.
Like, is he, like, according to the book, is he doing some social experiment?
Hmm.
Is he doing something to try to relate dogs to how he's eating off of God's people?
Right. Like you would just feel like he's an evil bastard though, because you know he has the food, and you would be like, those dogs don't need to be with him, right? That's what I would think too. Like somebody need to take them dogs away from him because he is not taking care of them. Now, like imagine it in the same way. Everyone knows how a flock of sheep should look.
Right.
They should look, they got the hair growing, they fat, you know what I mean? They stocky and they walking around, they eating, they sitting down, they laying around, they buying, they taking poops everywhere, and that's what they do. This is what sheep do. But if you came by a flock and all the sheep was looking like cats, they so skinny, you'd be like, what's going on over here? But the dude over there is sitting, and he ain't broke. It's one thing, like I know what you're talking about. You see homeless people with dogs, you're like, man, I'm gonna take this dog from this homeless person. You can't even feed yourself. What the hell are you doing with a dog? You know what I mean? But no, I'm talking about a rich person that got a dog and the dog still look hungry. That's what we're reading about right here. You know what I mean? He says, woe be to the shepherds of Israel that do feed themselves. Should not the shepherds feed the flocks? Like, why are you eating, but they're not eating? That's what we see all the time in the Christian church. Grandma giving her last $20, $50 to the pastor, and he's going off and driving off in the Benz, in a Bentley. Why are you doing that? Right? Keep reverse 3.
Ye eat the fat, and ye clothe you with the wool.
Mm-hmm.
Ye kill them that are fed, but ye feed not the flock.
Right. So then now, not only they are getting rich off the sheep, they might kill the sheep and sell the sheep, you know what I mean? Sell the wool, use the wool to clothe themselves, whatever. Like the way they benefit themselves is off the flock that they're actually supposed to be taken care of. You know what I mean? That's evil. Let's see. Okay. We're going to drop down a little bit. We won't go too much. Verse 8 is heavy right here. Reverse. All right.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 34, verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
As I live, said the Most High Power, surely because my flock became a prey, and my flock became meat to every beast of the field, because there were no shepherd. Neither did my shepherds search for my flock, but the shepherds fed themselves and fed not.
Right. We became meat for every beast of the field. Every nation is open to us to run our communities because your pastor tells you to love every nation. They are able to come into the black community, eat off of us, open up businesses, because he's telling us we all the same. He didn't separate us from them. He didn't protect his flock from the beast. He told you to love the lion and hug the fox and chill with the alligator. That's what I'm saying. It's so simple when you realize how this book, man. Go ahead, Doc. Nah, please.
It goes right in the line. We're talking about with the concert.
Right.
You know, all these other beasts.
Right.
Or in the field, you know, taking in this so-called black music or whatever, right? And these people now have talking points about this music. You know, when we fall for a hook, line, and sinker, because some of us work with some of these people, we can have conversations and we start trusting them, so on and so forth. And now we're all just one big melting pot, not realizing that these people are beasts.
Right.
Eating off of you.
Right.
Day in and day out.
Good night. Yeah, that's what they come here for. We are here to make them fat. Our destruction is their children's education. You build a Chinese store, a restaurant in the black community in the hood, and feed us cat, rat, and dog, and they're taking that money and sending their kids to Harvard. And now they get a big old house, and you are not eating at all. So yeah, and then you need Section 8 to survive. And you wondering why you need Section 8 and food stamps to survive. Well, because your pastor, your leader of your flock told you to love Asians, told you to love white people, told you to love Africans, told you to love East Indians. And by him doing that, he also told you to hate your people. And that's exactly because you only have so much. I remember learning that in the school, man. You literally, if you had a hate energy level meter, like a battery charge, you got a certain amount of hate and you got a certain amount of love. We literally give all of the best love we have to the people that oppress us. All of our good love goes to white people. Real love goes to them. Forgiving somebody that killed your brother, that's a hell of a love to have. Somebody come in and kill your son while he's eating ice cream, and you hug her and comb and brush her hair. You got an amazing love and forgiveness for her. So you use up all your love forgiving your boss, forgiving the police, forgiving the governor, the mayor, the teacher, everybody in society that's abusing and hurting black people. You love them. All you got left is hate. Who that go to? To your mama, your wife, your son, your daughter, your cousin, your neighbor. All that hate meter. I gotta do something with this. They taught us we just got unlimited love and there's no room for hate at all. But the Bible says there's a time and a place for what? Everything. So where is the time for the hate at? So you're gonna do it regardless of you doing it consciously. You're gonna let some hate out, but you just don't do it directed who needs it. So when the pastor tells you to love everybody, he's telling you to hate your people. And that's the result that we get. You know what I mean? So this is showing how evil this is. But Salaki, we at about 9 o'clock. Let's see if we give any blah blah blah. We got that. Let's go to the ones I said, verse 23, I think. Right. Verse 22.
Book of Ezekiel, chapter 34, verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore will I save my flock, and they shall no more be a prey. And I will judge between cattle and cattle.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 23. And I will set up one shepherd over them, and they shall feed them.
Mm-hmm.
And he shall feed them.
Right.
Even my servant David, he shall feed them, and he shall be their shepherd.
Right.
Verse 24.
Mm-hmm.
And I, Yahweh, will be their power, and my servant David a prince among them.
Mm-hmm.
I, Yahweh,
Mm-hmm.
have spoken. Verse 25.
Right.
And I will make with them a covenant of peace,
Right.
and will cause the evil beast to cease out of the land.
Right. The evil beast. And see, this is where when it becomes a religion in Christianity, what the hell are they talking about when they read this? You know what I mean? Like, are you keeping up? Are you paying attention? Not you. I'm talking about them. Like, are you paying attention? What the hell are you reading? Do you think he's really talking about beasts still? The shepherd are people.
Right.
The beasts aren't people.
Right.
Who are these people? You see, it doesn't make sense. What the hell are they talking? They're talking about races of people coming against a race of people, and the Lord said these evil beasts will cease to be in our land.
Right.
That's going to be our salvation. But what is how do they break it down? I'm trying to understand. What do they? How do they make this Christian and mystical and spiritual when it's clearly talking about a condition of a people and their salvation? And we're literally living this, and this is what we need. We need these evil beasts to get out of our community.
Right.
We need to get rid of these lions and these foxes and these alligators and crocodiles that are preying on us and eating off of our community. The king that's supposed to come is going to make that happen. So who is this white man on the wall that's telling us to hug the lion again? It's not adding up. You understand? Let's see. Did you finish verse 25? All right, go ahead.
And they shall dwell safely in the wilderness and sleep in the woods.
Right, verse 26.
And I will make them like it. And I will make them and place in the places round about my heal and blessing. And I will cause the shower to come down in its season. There shall be showers of blessing.
Right. So this is getting into the kingdom, man.
Right.
The showers of blessings is our leadership separating us from these other nations. Our leadership showing us the righteous laws. Our leadership raising us and making a different environment for us and socializing us to the culture of the Bible. That is what's going to fix our community. If anything else is dead, it's on dead ears. There's nothing you can do outside of changing the social fabric to get a different behavior out of the people. And that's why this is so important. And that's why the UPK is so important, because we're taking you out. Come out of her, my people. You have to come out of this society. If you identify yourself as an American, you just started off already wrong. You're going to ask America to fix your problems. And America is set up to create your problems. You're going to ask them to fix your family. What America is created to destroy your family. That's why I asked the sister, I said, everything that I'm saying, a man should have more than one wife, right? And this and that and that and the third. You're fighting against it. Who taught you? The same people that killed George Floyd? You sad about Sonia Macy the same way I'm sad. You sad about all this little stuff that's happening in society. You never questioned the fact that maybe they created the way you think. That's not really who you are. Your actual feelings are different from how you think. And they told you that in the book, that you're gonna feel how they want you to feel. You're gonna think. Your emotions and your mindset and your identity is wrapped up in the people that teach you from a child. So drop that. We'll get the last verse and we'll close out the class. John chapter 10, verse 11. Baruch Hashem. John chapter 10 and verse 11. I mean, we could go. If we had time, I would have gone to the whole. Let's go to verse 1. So like, I ain't gonna hold it too long.
No. The book of John, chapter 10, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not to the door of the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber.
Right. Like this person that's going in and trying to guide the sheep, but come in another way is a thief and a robber. He's not coming in the right way to lead the sheep. He hopping over the fence and hopping through the gate and coming through the back way and then saying, hey, let's go. Let's go this way. Let's go this way. Because he's gonna sell them for his own good so he can eat. That's who these people are that are leading our people, right? Verse 2.
But he that entered in by the door is the shepherd of the sheep.
Right. He came in the right way through the straight way. Right. That's who's supposed to lead our people. Keep going.
Verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
To him the porter openeth, and the sheep hear his voice.
Mm-hmm.
And he calleth his own sheep by name and leadeth them out.
Right. The porter, the Most High, the Lord opening up the way for Christ to come and lead our people. And the people that his flock, we hear him and we follow him because we know who should be leading us, right? He that hath an ear, let him hear, right? Read verse 4.
And when he putteth forth his own sheep, he goeth before them, and the sheep follow him, for they know his voice.
Right.
Verse 5. And a stranger will they not follow, but will flee from him, for they know not the voice of strangers.
Right. Keep going.
Verse 6. This parable spake Yahushua unto them, but they understood not what things they were which he spake unto them.
Right. And this is the problem that we have. Like, we hear these things over and over again. You a sheep, or you doing this and you doing that. We need to be more accountable. Stop blaming the white man. It ain't the white man's fault. Ain't no white man ever killed my friend. It was a brother that did it. It's a brother that owed me some money. It's a brother that done it broken in my house. It's a brother that stole my rims. Y'all the problem with the black community. It ain't the white man's fault. And they get angry at other black men trying to help them and trying to teach them. We don't understand this parable. We don't understand the analogy. But who does? They understand. It's very strategic. They get it. Keep going.
Then Yahushua unto them again. So I can then say Yahushua unto them again. Verily, verily, I say unto you, I am the door of the sheep.
Right.
All that ever came before me are thieves and robbers. But the sheep did not hear them.
Good night.
Verse 9. I am the door. By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved, and shall go in and out and find pasture.
Right.
The thief cometh not, but for to steal, and to kill, and to destroy. I am come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly.
Good night. You know how Christian they turn this into? But he's being literal. He's saying, like, these devils and these brothers that's working with them came to suck the life out of our people and our nation. And I'm coming to correct that we will be on top and we'll be ruling over these Romans. You got to see, he's in a society of a bunch of niggas that's oppressed by the Romans. The Roman police stopping you, the Roman police killing you, the Roman police raping your women. The same thing we see in today. Christ is talking about these Romans and these sellout Negro pastors that's working with him. And he was like, man, they did not earn their spot, and I come to take their spot. And when I come, we all gonna eat. Right. Big Meech said everybody gonna be doing good. When Christ come, we all gonna be doing good. This is the way. This is the truth and the light. I want to see us shining. You deserve to be on top. Ain't nothing wrong with you, brother. You should be running this company. You should be running this restaurant. You should be running this industry. You should be over the fashion and all of that. Why are we supporting Louis Vuitton? Why are we supporting this and that and the third? It's because the people leading us, they gonna wear Louis Vuitton. You gonna wear Louis Vuitton. They're not gonna tell you, you are Louis Vuitton, nigga. If he told you that, then you would never go over there. But 21 Savage gonna wear Gucci, and you gonna buy Gucci. But he should have told you, you are Gucci. We need you to be him. we're gonna follow that. If they do that, then that's what we're gonna do. You know what I mean? We're only gonna do whatever they tell us to do, but Christ is the one that's really gonna come and show us the way out, right? Keep going. Where we at? We at verse 10 or 11? Okay.
I am the good shepherd.
Right.
The good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep.
Good night. That we got to stop right there. Christ is the good shepherd. He's sacrificing his life for the sheep to save the sheep. The bad shepherd is sacrificing the sheep to better himself. And that's the spirit that we got to have in order to continue to help our people. We got to learn that from our king and our leader, that we got to give up what we want for our people to be better. And that's the fabric of our society. And you know who's opposite of that? American society. Get yours first. Get it how you live. Worry about yourself. Be an individual. It's all they pump to us. Don't worry about nobody else but you. Don't care about what anybody else think but you. And that's why we end up the way we are. Keep going.
Verse 12. But he that is an hireling and not the shepherd, whose own the sheep are not, seeth the wolf coming, and leaveth the sheep, and fleeth. And the wolf catcheth them, and scattereth the sheep.
Damn.
Verse 13. The hireling fleeth, because he is an hireling.
Damn.
And careth not for the sheep.
Yeah, he's not. These ain't my sheep.
Right.
I just came in. They leave at a drop of a dime because they just there to profit. But once it gets hard, I'm about to die for these sheep. I'm out of here. I'll go find another flock, right? And then I mean, we're not gonna keep going through all this, but you know, brothers for time said they can go through that. Let me see, verse 16 though. Let's drop down to verse 15.
And other sheep I have, which are not of this fold, them also I must bring.
Where you at? You at verse 15?
16.
We'll do verse 15, Slack.
As the Father knoweth me, even so know I the Father, and I lay down my life for the sheep.
Right.
Verse 16. And other sheep I have, which are not of this fold, them also I must bring. They shall hear my voice, and there shall be one fold, one shepherd.
Right. So that's the same thing. Fab, he said, hey, y'all not accountable. Y'all don't hold yourself accountable. So what he able to do? He able to leave them. Y'all don't listen to what I'm saying. Y'all don't want to do what I'm saying. Then that's your problem. You don't listen to me. You don't want to change. I'm out. And then niggas never change. That's what's wrong with niggas. Niggas don't never get right. We can't never do nothing. I tried. Nah, you didn't try. You're going to go whore out his mother tomorrow night. You didn't really lead them, and you really didn't show them a way. And did you hold yourself accountable? When did you do that? You didn't do that. You start in the mirror. You trying to pluck out the speck in this brother's eye, but then take out that plank in your eye. Because you got a business and because you do all this and that and the third, you better than them. And this brother on the street, is something wrong with him because he didn't change his life. But you haven't really changed your life either, man. So that's the reason why they don't like the UPK. That's the hardcore truth. And that's the same thing I tell that brother to his face because I love the brother. You know what I'm saying? Next time I see him, I'm like, man, I got to pull this brother to the side because what he's saying and what he's doing, two different things. And until somebody calls him on it and everybody just tells him that you're doing great because what you're doing good is good, but you don't want to see that, hey, what you're doing is bad, is worse. You know what I mean? Till you tighten that up, all that stuff is null and void. But Salaki, so it's like, let's keep going. We'll close it out.
Verse 17. Therefore doth my Father love me, because I laid down my life, and I might take it, that I might take it again.
Right. So we not only is going to do this and sacrifice for the people that want to listen to us and the brothers that's in the brotherhood, we also going to go out and try to get them brothers that haven't changed their life and that are not listening, because we know the real reason why they like that is because of the devil. And that's how we can have mercy on them, the ones that are not of this fold, and try to bring them into this fold. And that's why Christ laid down his life for these brothers that's in the world that was just like us, because we was the same way. If he didn't have mercy on us, we would have never changed. But that was his mercy that let us say, okay, I got another shot. I'm going to do something different, and let me give this to the next brother. But people in the world, once they get theirs, they turn around and look at everybody else and say, well, why you didn't do what I did? And they expect you to be right there with them, and not knowing that you went, maybe had a whole different, two people can be raised in the same house and have a whole different experience. And so this brother over here, yeah, he from Oakland the same way you from Oakland, but how was his mama? How was his economics? Was it really the same? You go look and you find a story. Well, he be like, yeah, I went to Catholic school. I ain't go to that high school with these niggas. You start going into their little stories and stuff. Jay-Z and all them. Jay-Z went to Catholic school. Biggie Smalls went to Catholic school. Like P. Diddy went to private school and went to, you know what I mean? Like they were exposed to different things, and then you get this different result, but they try to profess they're from the same thing. Like even myself, like I look like I went to Catholic school from kindergarten to 7th grade. And I will look at cats that went to public school, and we could be from the same neighborhood, but I'm like, damn, your education is way different. And when I went to the Catholic school, they're telling me I'm slow and behind. And then I went to the public school and they put me in advanced classes. That's how much they teaching their kids ahead of us. I'm in this school with Asians and white kids in Richmond, El Cerrito, and they saying I'm slow and can't keep up. I got out of that school and went to a public school in San Angelo, Oakland. They said, nigga, you the smartest nigga in this goddamn class. And like, nigga, I'm learning there. I'm like, damn, this is 8th grade. I learned this when I was in 4th grade at the Catholic school in math. This over here in English and that and that and third, my essays. They're like, we putting you in the AP classes straight for college. We don't even see how far unless you knew the difference of what they're doing over there and what they're doing over here. And then you grow up and you're like, okay, yeah, this is it's on them. Nah, man, it's deeper than that. But Salakia, I'm going, that's pretty much it, man. But Christ understands, like the Lord understands that there's a difference between what the Romans got and what we got. And then in our society, they tell us to hate our own. But the game they're playing from their perspective is like, yeah, just wrapping up, it's like, damn, you so smart. To hate on your own people shows how dumb you are. You know what I mean? Like, if you was truly intelligent, you would be like, damn, I need some mercy on these niggas. Because there's no way how layered they're doing this destruction to us. You could boil it down to something that's so simple as, hey, bro, just hold yourself accountable. Nigga, what? You are tripping. So, like, that's it for me. I know I keep saying, but yeah. Yep. With that, we'll go ahead and close out the class. Somebody, India Smith, said, true. She started laughing, man. Most High in Christ says, all right. Always, if you want to get in contact with the ISUPK next time you log in, sis, just go ahead and put that in the chat. We'll give you a number who to call. All right, we're going to salute everybody online. Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Brakathum, to all the brothers. Yahweh Shemar Latham Bashem Yahshua, to all the sisters. All right. Class dismissed.